Hello, and welcome back to Sakura Moyu, and let's get started with today's read-through. I walk together with Chiwa. It's a date though, even if it's her expression of things. This is without a date though, I said to myself as to accept it, because it was very fun. First, Chiwa treated me to delicious oishi kohi and keiki set from a new cafe as thanks. It was the most expensive set menu in the cafe. Although I decided to take half of the pay because I felt feeling similar to guilt towards Chiwa. And yet, being treated like this makes me what's this? Being treated like this makes me feel it. What the fuck? Anyway, and yet being treated like this makes me all feel useless. Someday, I'll treat something to Chiwa myself. Thinking that, beside me.
これは先輩へのお礼ですけど、劇場視察も十分にできました。
Chiwa is nodding with satisfaction.
あのお店のコーヒーもケーキもすっごく美味しかったですね。何かうちも対抗メニューを考えなきゃいけないかもしれません。
She treated me oishi cake and kohi, so her thanks ends here. It should. But none of us could say, shall we go home? It was like a real date though from there on. We held each other's hands unconsciously. Okay, that, you know what? The weird fact that you guys held hands like that. Okay, you're in. Friends don't just randomly unconsciously do that. we chose to walk not a noisy ward set for tourists, but a back alley with few people. It is the silent, calm side of town where we usually do our daily activities. I'm guessing that's why I'm seeing a lot of missed typos and incorrect grammar. Is because this is still part of like the. I remember like the effort involved with attempting to translate the VN was like they were able to work at it. They were able to translate 32% of Chiwa's route, and then they had to stop. So, and then someone continue with machine language translation. Since the first translation, I'm guessing it never went through like a QA process. QC QA process. So we're seeing a lot of like whatever. I mean, it's like the experience we get from Harukana Sora with Yahiro's route, where he straight up had 2-3 missing lines consecutively. But anyway, together we walk ahead on the neatly maintained narrow stone pavement, with both us unconsciously holding hands forever.
先輩、見てください。新しい猫ちゃん発見です。
Chiwa, walking beside me, pointed at a nekochisu, a monument of a neko's picture on a round stone. I'm not sure if that's even the right thing to say, was there. On the stone paved road. There's a bus stop along the way. It's next to a completely worn out bench. When it got closer, I found it there. It must be quite old. It's green, covered in moss. It's slightly broken in some places, and half of it is already buried in the ground. Chiwa trots towards it and clicks. She was taking sashin with her smartphone.
この子は初めて見た子ですね。こんなところにまだ見ぬ子がいたなんて気づきませんでした。ここです。
Isn't it?
君は何番かな?
Isn't it convenient that our MC's outfit looks very similar to his what do you call the uniform for men? Gaku and I forgot, man. But you know that outfit. Anyway. Chiwa looked around the statue restlessly and dusted off the dirt.
なるほど。君は200番目の猫ちゃんなんだね。
Although the placement of that is so in the middle, it's in the middle of the walkway, so you know, if you're not watching where you step, you would accidentally. I'm surprised it's still there, you know. I would expect a lot of damage to it because someone would accidentally hit it while not watching their step or something. Chiwa wrote something in the memo book she pulled out. And that said, what is it? Is there some kind of stamp rally?
はい、そうです。街中に設置してある猫の像には一つ一つ番号が振ってあって、その時対象になっている番号の子を探して写真に撮って市役所の地域振興課に持っていけば記念品がもらえるんです。
Remember when I went to a trip to Japan and my partner had like a stamp book. Like in every ekimae you go to, there's a place where you can stamp. There's a stamp on the station, and you can stamp on your notebook thing. She had like the stamp for Harajuku Station before it closed down, before it got renovated. Damn, that would have been very. Anyway. A souvenir. It is said to be limited origami paper of this town. The smell of sakura just afloat if you open the seal, and the origami paper is made of Japanese paper.
本当は観光客向けの催しだから、私みたいな町の住人が参加するのはきっとあまりいい顔されないんじゃないかって思いますけど。
Why are they selected? I mean, isn't it good that someone within the town actually cares about the town too? Really? Why?
だって記念品だって無限にあるわけじゃないって思いますから、一つでも多く観光の人に渡った方がいいんだって思います。本当は。
Okay, that's just your opinion, Chiwa. I see. Well, you're probably right.
でもあまり参加する人も多くないイベントみたいですし、それに
I don't even know if a lot of people know it too. Besides, それに?
はい、それにですね、記念品の折り紙、いつもとても綺麗な柄なんです。
I remember one time I was exchanging money. They just gave me some random ass origami when they gave me the yen. That was a nice time. Anyway.
季節が変わると探し出さなきゃいけない番号の猫の像も記念品の柄も変わってしまって。
She says that she only participates in the event when there is a design that she really wants. Long ago, I also used to participate in the event, to search the Neko statues of the given numbers, but somewhere along the line I started doing it less often. That might be because we found the locations of most of the number statues, or maybe because our relations changed somewhere from back then. Tonikaku. And there are still statues that even Chiwa doesn't know the locations of, such as the ones we miss right now, and others that are put in difficult to spot locations. Can tourists find the statues in spots that even residents find difficult to notice?
それは、はい。確かにそうですね。ちょっと親切心に欠けてるイベントなのかもしれませんね。だから、参加する人も少ないみたいで。
You know, if someone made a little effort, you could have some sort of Google map and just put it in, you know what I mean? Especially tourists that don't come from Japan. Who's gonna stop them from making a map? And you're just gonna... Anyway. Kind of like the maps for like the Summer Pockets ones. When you go to, what's the name of the island? Yeah, I plan to go there. They don't want to go to Japan during summer. It's the worst. Anyway, Chiwa shows the origami souvenir that she received last time. Yeah, it's certainly a beautiful design. A set of 10. They're sakura flowers, the color of sky cat footprints. The color of the sky cat footprints. It's not just pretty, but also kawaii. Looking at it is fun enough. Using them would feel like a waste. A few tourists were climbing the stairs on the side road. Where does the staircase lead to? Isn't there something at the top? A jinja? Or a tea house or something? They were saying such things to each other with a smile, looking at them walk away from behind.
教えてあげた方がいいのかな。
Chiwa muttered, shaking her head.
そこ、地元の人のお散歩コースで、頂上には特に何もないですよって。ただ、景色がいいだけ。神社も、お茶屋も何もなくて、猫のお地蔵さんもいなかった。階段がいっぱいいっぱい続いてるだけで、ただそれだけなんだって。
We should. But, well, if there's a nice view, then isn't that good enough for them?
そうですか？十分ですか？
Yeah, they say that the tabi is the closest extraordinary in our ordinary lives, right?
初めて聞きました。誰の言ってた言葉ですか？
This typo. Me. It's obviously me. I said it.
何ですかそれ？なんだか当先輩みたいですよ。
Chiwa giggles. I laugh along with her. Well, where was I?
はい。
A trip is the extraordinary that anyone can experience. A special period of time. I certainly believe that even the most ordinary things look special. So, a nice view is enough for them, even if it's something they would see after climbing many, many stairs. I think. My incomprehensible talkativeness leaked out at an awkward place, but...
先輩。
Hmm?
特別な時間の中では、何でもないものでも特別に見えるんですよね。
Yeah. I'm just saying that it's often the case.
先輩。
はい？
デートも特別ですよね。
Huh? For some reason, I get startled.
デートは旅行よりもきっと特別ですよね。
Well...
先輩、今日私たちってデートしてるんですよね。
I nodded in silence. I kind of felt really pathetic doing that. Yes, I merely nodded. Even then, Chiwa... She smiled gently, joyfully, sometimes happily. Seeing her expression, I felt a feeling that I wasn't aware of it until now. Grows inside me. No, No, no. I shake my head furiously. Chigao, it's a misunderstanding. This is just her things. And there's nothing more or less than that. Chiwa must also have the same intentions. Because, our relation was that of normal Osana and Jimmy until yesterday. And there were certainly no incidents that shortened our distance closer. So it's totally understand for childhood friends to just hold hands like that. I don't know, man. As if to rebuke myself, I closed my eyes tightly and bit my lips.
だったら先輩
Ah? That. だったら。
今日が先輩と私との特別な日なら
Looking down,
先輩
with her words becoming less coherent.
ただのお散歩も先輩と一緒なら特別な時間になりますよね
Chiwa suddenly looked up at me with upturned eyes. She's completely red. Her eyes were lightly wavering. She closes her little lips tight. This is Yuki. Her expression showed that she summoned the Yuki to finally say those words. No. There's no way. Chiwa, what is that face? Oh no. Kawaii. The words suddenly slipped out of my lips. What am I saying? I coughed deliberately. I tried to drown out the word I spilled with that.
先輩
It's nothing. No, it's nothing really. Quickly, I showed a smile disguised with calmness. On the inside, I'm flustered. Very much. What is it? What happened? This is strange. I'm quite weird today. I finally realized this myself. A date with Chiwa. A different mood between us than usual. I got carried away in all of that, and I finally noticed that after coming here. Thinking about it, I couldn't sleep last night. I wasn't looking back at Chiwa's message multiple times. Wait. I was looking back at Chiwa's message multiple times. I don't know why I said I wasn't. Not being able to sleep is the usual thing. Feeling anxious about the future, painting my past with regrets. Since I do that, I want you to pamper me. Nah, Kuro. About Ashita. I'm going on a date though with Chiwa. I intentionally reconnected the call Kuro had cut to mention my anxiety about tomorrow. To think that Chiwa would give such an invitation. What do I do? I think it's a joke though. I'm thinking this is probably some part of her playing with me. Kuro, how do you think I should go about a date? But just like that, even my discussion with Kuro about today.
デートのやり方なんて私にわかるわけないよ。タイガは相談する相手を間違えてしまってる。
She says,
タイガ、私とは一度も遊びでもデートとかしてくれたことないのに。
Our guy is so dense. Literally, someone's literally giving her something like this. So she says,
このお電話は現在電波の届かないところにあるか、持ち主の子猫が拗ねてしまっているので、また明日の夜におかけ直しください。
Leaving those words, she cut the call. After that, she wouldn't pick up no matter how many times I called. These events from yesterday swiftly passed by in my mind. For some reason, I thought that Chiwa would Mimi. At the same time, everyone's bothersome attitude also crossed my mind. It was a strange feeling of discomfort. No way. There's no way that they are looking at me acting flustered to Chiwa's attitude for somewhere. Although my suspicion was very far-fetched, I looked around restlessly.
先輩、どうしたんですか？
Chiwa blinks beside me.
なんか先輩、さっきからキョロキョロばっかりしてますけど、気になることがありますか？ 私にも教えてください。秘密は嫌です。
She makes innocent movements, like tilting her head. Yes, they were meant to be innocent. Even then, Deto. That word gets to me. Saw. I clench my fist and scream inside my heart. She's so damn kawaii. I'm on a date with my Osana Najimi, my kawaii no kohai. In that special and unusual moment, Chiwa, who I have always looked at normally, seems especially kawaii to me. Silence. She was blushing red. I'm also red from blushing. Looking at each other, we were blinking our eyes. I quickly look away, then cover my mouth. She's so damn kawaii, I said. I meant to scream inside my heart. Weird. Seems that I'm said it out to my heart's contents.
先輩、今の可愛いって。
To my heart's contents. There should be. I said it out loud to my heart's content. Anyway. No. Well. Hi. Is it impossible, Chiwa? Would you not pretend that you never heard that, Chiwa? I'm confused. Even my gaze is unsteady. Chiwa. You seem a bit different today. Your hair. Did you cut it? Oh, please. What am I saying? As the conversation halts, you ask, huh? Did you cut your hair? For the time being, and try to connect the conversation. And this was in some how-to book I read somewhere. I say nothing. There's silence again. The conversation would connect from there. How-tos and success theories. Both of these work, well, only for some, due to their nature. I sigh. I sigh within my heart. What am I doing? However,
先輩。
suddenly a gap opens in the silence. Hi? I respond with a well visibly shaking. What? 何でしょうか?
今日は髪の毛整えてきたんです。
I can't actually tell if she actually did it or she's just being polite because she realized, oh, he's trying his best. So I might as well play along so we can go ahead, get ahead. You know, we can keep things moving. Huh? Really?
はい。お父さんに綺麗にしてもらってきました。
父さん?
はい。髪バッサリ切ったわけじゃないけど、ちょっと整えてみただけだけど、先輩、気づいてくれたんですか?
Chiwa says, while fidgeting with her bangs, blushing full red.
さっきからそれを気にしてくれていたんですか、先輩?
Oh shit, it's a landmine. Hi. Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah. That's so. I lied completely. To think that Chiwa actually cut her hair. Of course I noticed. You're completely different from yesterday. I was thinking of when to say it. I finally said it. I thought this was a blatant lie. That's because the coldness, sweat, the shake in my voice, and the steadiness of my gaze were all absolutely terrible. Regardless.
よかった。
Chiwa smiled heartily.
ありがとうございます、先輩。実はちょっと切りすぎちゃったかもってお父さん言ってて、変だったら似合ってなかったらどうしようって ドキドキしてました。
But I'm glad. I'm no longer worried, she says.
先輩って意外といろいろ見てくれてるんですね。私のこと嬉しいです。それじゃ行きましょうか、先輩。
Huh?
って何ですか？デートです。デートの続きですよ。
Chiwa blows her cheeks, but then laughs right after.
今まで見つけられなかった猫ちゃんも今日の先輩と一緒なら全部見つけられそうな気がしちゃいます。
Oh, you think?
そうですよ、きっと。
Chiwa smiles sweetly, loosening her cheeks, which were yet slightly red. I too end up smiling. It's completely different. It's completely changed. Wait, I'll take a break. I think my brain's dying for some reason. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I too end up smiling. It's completely changed. Her objective of thanking me, for which we gathered today, has completely turned into a date. I almost mistake it that way. I mean, we were already holding hands before we knew it.
つないだまま歩くなんて幼なじみ同士でそんなこと変ですよね。
Okay, it's starting to sink in for them. That's because Chiwa says that in good spirits, walking while holding my hand that it certainly is, but I'm gradually growing hyper aware of that mood, and I've finally taken note of it. Nothing. Let's go. It is because I noticed that today, at least for today, it might be a good idea to enjoy the mood. I felt that way. In a way, this might be me opening up again. Even childhood Sun and Jimmy hold hands. As friends, they likely do it countless times in their childhood. I think we used to hold hands very casually and super normally back then, without getting embarrassed like this. And at some point, I must have started feeling reluctant to hold hands. It felt like a clear line between an adult and a child. I might have wanted to resist that. We might as well pretend that we have returned to our younger days, just for today. After all, today is a special day for us. Sure, this cope. I pull Chiwa's held hand, but
今日だけ。
Chiwa mutters, then pouts. Oh man, she wanted to keep doing it every day. I walked around the town with Chiwa. It's certainly easier to look for necklace statues together. The corners and the narrow back alleys. Between houses and the gutters, we climbed up and down many steep steps up on the mountain. I could find a few of the ones that Chiwa seemed to have missed until now.
先輩、私よりずっと背が高いですもんね。
Chiwa tiptoes, trying to match her head with my shoulder.
視界が高いとやっぱり見えてる世界も私と違って全然高いんですよね。少し羨ましいです。
With just one step. No, must be half. Unconsciously keeping my distance from Chiwa. It might be even easier for Tomohito. He's far more handsome than me and much taller. So the world that he sees must be completely different.
イケメンなのは関係ありますか？
It is. Yes. There's a huge relation. This world is only for Ikemen, no matter for what it is or what they do, I think. There's a famous saying that goes, only if he's handsome, right?
それ名言なんだっていうのは初めて知りましたけど。はい、知ってますよ。
You know, the kami-sama of this world must love handsome men. That's why he must be arranging fun things so that their handsome face doesn't get wet with tears, and so they can always smile pleasantly. Because you see, just by being born handsome, their life becomes amazingly blissful, and they live happily, don't they?
うーん、まあ、うん。
I have no comment about this. Chiwa tilts her head, with gestures of thinking something.
美人さんはそれだけで得のことが多そうですよね。男の人っていやらしい人ばっかりだし。
Oh, that's a surprise attack. Well, let's put that aside.
はい。
The world that the handsome and the ugly must itself be different. That's why everything goes well if you bring any men along the world with them. They can find things quickly, and their worries are solved on the spot. Getting rich quickly is in the dream eater. Yeah, I'd love for every house to have one. What the fuck? What did the what? I keep going. Good. Mataku, I shrugged. To which
先輩はブサイクじゃないですよ。は
Chiwa says, tilting her head. Huh? Is that so?
い。
Chiwa nods.
先輩は可愛いですよ。
Kawaii?
はい、そうです。
You should have confidence, she says.
先輩は自分が思ってるより全然ブサイクじゃないし、むしろとっても可愛い顔だって思います。
How are we supposed to interpret that? Okay, I see. Kawaii, huh?
私だけじゃなくってみんなそう思ってるんじゃないかなって思います。
Minna?
はい、みんなです。柊先輩もやるつき先輩も多分トガ先輩も。
I can't honestly thank you. Somehow.
それに神様のイケメンの基準はトワ先輩じゃなくてカナデ先輩の方かもしれませんよ。
Huh? Okay. For some reason, my chest receives a shock. To each their own, I guess. She laughs, then, huh? Her eyes didn't match her smile. Is she angry?
先輩、
Hi?
ですね、先輩。
What is it?
先輩の嫌いなところはすぐ私に意地悪してくるところと、そうやって時々ちょっと弱気だったりするところです。それがなければ。
Not for that.
先輩はとても素敵な先輩だって思いますよ。
She smiles. Oh! I tremble. She was making me feel these things all day long today. After walking around the town for a while, searching for Neko statues, it's noon. I'm starting to get hungry. The sun is at its highest point. Chiwa made extra lunch for me. From the very beginning, Chiwa might have thought of this, not just as thanks, but also for spending time together like this. We decided to have our lunch in the koen. We sat down on the bench together. We opened the bentos on our laps. Ooh. Oh, let's. Oishi saw. Sugoi. Chiwa, you're good at cooking as well. I mean, she works at a cafe, so at least she should know how to cook something well enough for a cafe, right? Even if I'm not starved of home cooking, thanks to Asahi-san. Also, Asahi-san really makes really good food. But sure, you could say that's home cooking. That might be. I have a feeling it's as good as like a restaurant. Anyway, thanks to Asahi-san, I'm really happy that she especially prepared it for me. Honestly speaking, walking around town has made me hungry. My part of the bento is also quite big. That's a sananajimi for you. There's a lot of things that I like in it. I wanted to press hands and dig in right away, but her hand She was still holding my hand. Chiwa? I see.
はい。何ですか先輩。
She tilts her head. Isn't it about time you leave my hand? I say.
どうしてですか
Chiwa blinks her eyes. No, even if you ask why, it's difficult to eat like this. Further, my hand is full of sweat. It must be disgusting. I tilt my head in concern.
どうして気持ち悪いんですか
She tilts her head in surprise.
私だって汗ばんでますよ。きっと、いっぱい。
She smiles in embarrassment. And then she holds my hand tighter. Ooh, the good move, good move, Chiwa. Good move there. No, we can't eat like this. Isn't it hard to eat with just one hand?
そうですね。だったら、食べさせ合いっこしましょう。
Is this the first expression? I want to take another screenshot, but I can't remember if this is already like a different expression. I think this is the same. Huh? Feed each other? I had a vague feeling, but I'm convinced. She was different than usual today. She's very bold.
何が食べたいですか
Let's see. I'm flustered by Chiwa's assertiveness, which is different than always.
卵焼き、自信作です。
Yeah. Okay then. I'll have that.
はい。どうぞ。してください。
She gently puts the tamagoyaki in my mouth. Yup, it's certainly tasty. So, you're the kind who puts sugar in tamagoyaki. Do you need to put sugar in tamagoyaki? You could just use mirin or something like that.
はい。苦手でしたか
It's not that. Asai-san is absolutely against sugar. Her flavors are exquisite, and the taste is quite elegant. So sweet tamagoyaki is rare, for me at least. Well, there's different kinds of tamagoyaki. There's the one that you eat in a bento normally, which is a little bit more sweet tasting. And then there's the dessert kind of tamagoyaki. I usually get those from like when I eat at like a sushi restaurant, like the fancy sushi restaurant where you get a set course meal, or as they say, omakase. But you know, at the end, you know you went to like a really really good omakase sushi if like they serve like tamagoyaki as one of the final dishes. It's like the second to the last before the dessert. And then maybe before that is unagi or anago, depending on what they have. Or at least the ones I'm used to. Anyway.
そうだったような気もします。
Showing a forced smile, feed me next, she says.
私も卵焼き欲しいです。先輩、お願いします。
Hi. Carefully holding my chopstick, I put a tamagoyaki in her mouth. We fed each other multiple times like that, with our hands still held. Not letting go, but we continue to eat. We feed each other in turns. Fake romance and a fake date. I still don't comprehend how it came to this, but we eat from the bento, holding hands. Yeah. I feel like today is a series of strange events. You seem quite bold, Chiwa. I accidentally blurted it out.
そうですか
Yeah. Although, you would blush right away this morning, no matter what you did. Right away at this morning.
それは、はい。
She blushes a little, but just like that, she smiles wide.
ちょっとだけ慣れてきたのかもしれません。それに。
はい？それに。
はい。ちょっとだけですよ。先輩とこういう風にするのが楽しいって、そう思えてきたのかもしれません。 恥ずかしいより楽しいが勝ってきてるんだと思います。
She was smiling with her whole face. A smile, directed right at me. I quickly looked away and coughed lightly once, twice, then continuously. My part of the bento was bigger. Chiwa finishes eating first. In the end, she was only feeding me. I'm fine. I can eat by myself, I said, but
ダメですよ。私には全部食べさせてくれたのに。中途半端なのは嫌いです。はい。してください、先輩。もう少しでごちそうさまですよ。
I was fed till the end. Ah, jeez. Chiwa says that she got used to it, but this is bad. Now I'm starting to feel awkwardly embarrassed now. The kids playing the koan are looking at us, grinning. But I feel really unpleasant for some reason. So to distract myself from these feelings, how about your otosan? I decide to talk about something that's completely inappropriate for this place.
え？お父さんですか？
Yeah. I was wondering about him.
はい。何でしょう？
Well, nothing particular about him, but I add such remarks that sounded like excuses before saying, it's been a few days since I've started working at your father's cafe, but I haven't met him even once. I've been thinking about it since a while.
何をでしょうか？
I always see you do most of the work in the cafe alone, but there's a few people in the kitchen, but that's all. You're the only one inside the cafe. When it gets busy, you're the only one running around that small cafe. I was wondering if your otosan would help at the cafe. I think it would help a lot. So I was curious about it. Chiwa said that that me helping her saved her a lot. If it gets that busy, then why is her otosan, who should be in his workplace, that is the cafe, not there? It's something that's been slightly bothering me since I entered the cafe as a customer.
私のお父さんはちょっと体が弱いんです。
Chiwa says with a forceful smile.
この頃は特に体の調子が悪いみたいで、日中はいつも自分の部屋で寝ているみたいです。でもお父さん、夜になると体の調子が少し良くなるみたいで、夜のうちに次の日の準備をいろいろとしておいてくれるんです。
Preparations for the next day. For the cafe?
そうです。コーヒー豆や食材の発注とか、お金の管理だとか、難しいことは全部お父さんが夜にやっていてくれます。あと、新しいメニューを一緒に考えたりもしていますよ。
I see. I nod. Your Tosan works hard at night, and we work hard during the day. I guess the work distribution is something like that.
そうですね。そういう感じでしょうか。
Kinda makes you think. Maybe there's something going on. She was a Tosan, huh? I didn't mean to ask about that with much serious intentions. But I suddenly remembered that I have memory Kyoku Achiwa's Tosan inside me. It was long ago, but he painted a picture for both of us. All I can remember is the lingering scent of painting tools and paint thinner, as well as the gentle melody being played.
二人の似顔絵を本格的な感じだったから肖像画と言った方がいいのかもしれませんが、はい、そういうこともありましたね。本当にずっと昔のことですけど。
He was a Tosan is an artist, so I remember. He runs a cafe and uses his room as an atelier, making various creations every day. That is Ando Chiwa's Otosan, Ando Kazuma. I still don't know how I became unable to forget about those times, but called to his room, Chiwa and I sat together in front of her Otosan, facing the canvas. The canvas. Holy shit. I suddenly remembered Expedition 33. Anyway, he then drew the portraits of us, two in just a few minutes. The end result was so beautiful that those memories still remain in my heart without fading. I'd still like to at least greet your Otosan if they're letting me work at the cafe. I finally realized that I was lacking such obvious common sense after I came here. We finish our bentos and take and rest finish our bentos and take and rest for a while. Is that something's peculiar about that sentence? That was in order to rest our stomachs that were filled to the brim. However, we gazed the townscape in a daze. This park is in the higher part of the mountain, which is why we decided to admire the view of the town. The wind blows. The spring wind carries the fragrance of flowers. Chiwa, sitting next to me, narrowed her eyes with radiance. I wonder what she is thinking about right now. I feel that Chiwa is being asserted today. It is evident from observing her behavior until now. Should be fine to say that. I can't help but wonder. She suddenly invited me, saying, "Let's go on a date." I wonder where she got the motivation for that. This is not limited to Chiwa. I don't really understand what girls think. I keep thinking all such things in agony, endlessly. Looking at our hands that we held since forever, I'm thinking.
今日はありがとうございます、先輩。
Huh?
先輩のおかげで今日はたくさん猫の像を見つけられました。
Yeah.
いつも通学で使ってる道にも一匹見つかって驚きました。探し物は背の高い人の方が得意だっていうのは本当なんですね。
No, that's probably not true. On the other hand, it's difficult for taller people to search things in low places.
じゃあ先輩と私二人で探したら見つからないものはどこにもないかもしれませんね。背が大きい先輩とまあどちらかといえばちっちゃい私ですから。
Likely feeling hazy seeing it herself, she pouted. The reason you wanted to find all number statues was to make it easier to get the origami prize whenever they updated it with designs that you'd like. But what do you wish for? You find all the number statues, then join hands and go around wishing in order. Then those wishes will be granted. I think that was the thing.
はい。この町の噂の一つですね。
Yeah, I suddenly remembered about that rumor when searching for the Neko statues while walking with you. Nodding, I continue. If from here, you would ever reach a future where you find out all number statues, then what would you wish for at that time? I'm a bit curious. She was Nagai. Something related to her Yume must be in there. I don't have any proof, but I had a feeling. At one point in her younger days, she even called for Akiseki. Her difficulties, her sorrows, her Yume she wanted to achieve. I hold my left hand. Pretend that you had a wish or dream that you really wanted to fulfill. What if that wish could never be granted by you yourself? What if it was one so difficult to grant that you would have to pray to the Neko or even Kami-sama? I asked that mysteriously without thought, but I regretted it right away. Did I rush it? Was it still too early? A relation is Akagi to Maho, said Asahi-san. Relation is the relationship between us. I want to grant Chiwa's Yume with her Maho. By doing that, I believe that I can fulfill my own Yume as well. That's why, to get closer to Chiwa than before, I need to move ahead with some relationship.
Senpai?
Yeah? I'm startled. No, Gomen, it's nothing. I was staring at her face unconsciously.
どうして先輩が謝るんですか？
I mean, I think that was rude. One's wishes and dreams and all. I should have thought that such things should not be asked about so lightly. No one needs to say it, but dreams and wishes both are multifarious. Then my attitude towards those dreams and wishes should again be multifarious. Different strokes for different folks. All kinds of circumstances and reasons must lie down in each person's life. Just like how no matter what, have people that I must save. They still haven't explained who this person is. Well, it means we're still early on in this VN. Oh, well, we are really early on in this VN. I cannot talk to anyone but about them.
私は平気ですよ。
Huh?
私は平気なんです。先輩。
She smiled a little and replied that.
先輩になら平気です。何でも話して、何でも聞いてほしいって、ずっと昔から思っていますよ。
The smile she gave was far too dazzling. I closed my lips tight.
先輩の言う通り、私には叶えられなかった夢があります。
Both her Yume that were supposed to come true back then, and her Maho that she was supposed to get.
どちらも今の自分にはないもので。
Nothing can be done about either of them anymore, but
もし先輩が私の夢を叶えるために何か力を貸してくれるなら、知恵とかでもいいんです。意見だとかそんな感じでもいい。そういう何かを貸してくれるなら。
wait, be right back, really quick. Okay, I'm back.
先輩になら。
There, Chiwa stops and stares at me. Chiwa? I tilt my head. Maybe I look weird as Chiwa made a little mean face.
やっぱり前言撤回してもいいですか？
Huh?
今日の先輩じゃないと嫌です。
Today's senpai? That's a very particular way of saying that. Huh. Me, from today.
はい。今日の私に優しい先輩にならいいですよ。私の叶えられなかった夢を聞いてもらってもって思います。
Chiwa says with some pride in her expression.
いつもの意地悪な先輩じゃありませんよ。今日の私に優しい先輩じゃないとダメです。私の夢、私のお願い、教えてあげたくありません。
I frown. それは。
はい。
That's a very difficult request. Let me think about it.
もう、どうしてそんな真剣に考え込んでるんですか？
She looked astounded.
簡単なお願いじゃないですか。明日からずっと今日みたいに 私に優しくしてほしいって。ただそれだけなのに。
But I'm not really acting this different than usual at all.
ううん、そんなことないです。今日の先輩、いつもより私に優しいです。
She smiles at me.
あんまり意地悪なことしないし言わないし、それにちゃんとほらお願いしたようにずっと私と手握ったままでいてくれますよ。
That's why. If it's today's kind senpai, then I'm fine even in telling my secrets. I look away from her without thought as she repeats.
先輩、
Huh?
私さよならが嫌いなんです。
Chiwa muttered. Sayonara? That must be her secret. Her Himitsu. Then I must act prudently, I felt. But unexpectedly, I immediately asked back. Why? Do you hate sayonara? Kirai sayonara? I'm useless. I couldn't help but ask her. The maho to grant her yume. Is there danger lurking in it? How much good and evil is there in them? Determining it is my duty as a maho shoujo tsukai. As expected, for the Yoru no maho tsukai. Although I am still quite inexperienced, I lack prudence. Even then, I want to know. I want to understand Chiwa's heart.
私は
Hi?
私は大切なせめて大切だと思いたいたくさんのものを守りたかったんです。
Mamoritai? From what?
さよならからです。
Chiwa says, with a forced smile. If anything, with a lonely gaze.
私は私の大切なものをさよならから守りたかった。
There, Chiwa closes her lips. The words that were supposed to continue were cut off by silence. I was waiting for the words following that. Our hands are still held, and the answer to her secret never falls out from her lips. At that moment, we would be able to talk to each other about our yume, a relationship closer than ever. Can I take a step forward, together with you, to fulfill your yume? However,
これ以上は秘密です。意地悪な先輩には言えません。
she did not tell me anything further.
私に優しい今日の先輩はさよならしたらもう私には会えなくなってしまうんですよね。
Huh? Farewell?
はい、だって今日の優しい先輩と私はお礼のためにこうして一緒にいるだけで、さよならしたらバイバイしたら今日が終わってしまったら今日の先輩と私はもう会えなくなる。そうですよね。明日になればまた私にばっかり意地悪な先輩に戻っちゃうんですよね。だから話せません。
Because I hate my mean senpai, she says.
嫌いな人に大切だった願い事や夢だとか話せるわけないですもん。またそれで意地悪されたら私泣いちゃうかもしれません。だからこれ以上は秘密なんですよ。
I decided that I'd only tell my secrets to my kind senpai, she says with a nasty smile. At that moment, I myself did not understand what I was thinking. Just that. That's not true. I suddenly uttered those words.
そんなこと？
Yeah. そんなこと, Chiwa. I'll be the same tomorrow as well. I won't be mean to you anymore. I think.
先輩、急にどうしたんですか？
She was blinking her big eyes. Even if you bid for sayonara, it won't be bye-bye. I'll try to be as kind to you from tomorrow as possible. I'll do my best. I honestly cannot explain the purpose behind me saying those words. All I can say is that the time I spent with Chiwa today was quite pleasant. It isn't bad to play around with Chiwa as a son and a Jimmy. It's fun in itself. The relation should become the Kagi to fulfill my duty as a Maho Shoujo Tsukai. That's how I expect it. That's it. That's all there is to it. There is in it. That was the only intention behind my words. There was supposed to be no deeper meaning behind what I said, but
先輩、それって、
Chiwa was blinking her eyes.
それって、明日からも、私たち、恋人同士って、
Damn.
ですか?
She really jumped ahead there. Blushing completely, she whispered. Huh? Oh man, this is the worst reply you could give, Taiga. I tilt my head. The words I blurted along with Chiwa's blush, then finally connected my stupid brain. Koibito? As I say that. Oh man. Chiwa blushes, completely red, and looks down. I just don't want to pretend that a relationship today was never a thing. That's all I thought. That's all. Even then, why would you say that? This time I blush in embarrassment in an instant. No! Involuntarily. It's not what you think. Unconsciously. Even though I felt like wanting to let go of her hand. I didn't mean it in that way. However, with Chiwa still holding my hand tight. She was disappointed there. And with her staring at me. I couldn't even move at all. What I said just now was...
はい。
No, it's just that I thought it would be great if I could be like this with you from tomorrow. That's all. I didn't mean any more than that. I answer incoherently. Seeing me. Me who is simply miserable. Oh no, 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 no. Chiwa narrowed her eyes.
そんな、
Huh?
そんなに思いっきり嫌がらなくてもいいのに。
She puffs her cheeks. Chiwa? And then turns away with a...
嫌い。
You really messed this up, man. He really messed this up. But then again, he really wasn't thinking about that. Chiwa really jumped the gun here.
やっぱり先輩なんて大嫌いです。
Even while saying that, she couldn't let go of my hand. Silence. None of us would say anything. We wouldn't talk. We would merely look at the townscape covered by the colors of Haru. Only the voices of the kids playing the koen would sound louder than usual. I look at our hands, still held. The wind gently blows past, slightly, as my sweaty skin felt chills.
やっぱり、
She says. It's always Chiwa who breaks this kind of silence.
やっぱり私の秘密聞いてもらっていいですか?
Huh? Surprised, I turned towards Chiwa sitting next to me. However,
先輩は今日さよならしても明日も今日のまま私にも優しい先輩のままでいてくれるんですよね。
she goes on saying without looking at me.
それならそんな先輩になら聞いてほしいです。今日の優しい先輩になら私ちゃんと全部話せると思うから。先輩聞いてくれますか? 私の秘密。
Wait, something's off. This doesn't feel right. I have a strange feeling. So, Chiwa,
先輩、
please.
好きです。
Oh, shit. I'm stunned. Please give me some more time.
先輩、好きです。大好きです。
Eh?
先輩、ずっと大好きでした。10年前、まだまだ小さかった頃、初めて会った時からずっと。
I
出会ってからずっと、10年間もずっと先輩のことばかり考えてました。先輩のことばかりずっと見てました。
I became completely blank. Both my mind and heart.
今日先輩に振り向いてほしくて、私を見てもらいたくっていろいろ頑張りました。でも今日だけじゃないんです。私、先輩に振り向いてほしくて、私のこと見てほしくて、いろいろ頑張ってきたつもりです。
She will hold my hand tighter.
でも先輩は全然私のことそういう風に見てくれなくて。
She looks down.
だけど好きなんです。すごく先輩のこと私大好きなんです。
And then silence follows again. I cannot peer at her face as she looks down. She is shaking. Her tiny hand I held was shaking, and her face was completely red. Her cheeks, ears, and her nose too, till the very tip. Is that your Himitsu? I'm stupid. I should have said something different. For sure. I wanted to curse myself from the bottom of my heart. However, Chiwa nods profoundly.
はい、そうです。ずっと先輩に隠してきた私の秘密です。
Chiwa says in a low voice. As she closes her lips tight, even her hand turns red. Koi? Chiwa? She loves me? That certainly is a secret, Himitsu. But her Himitsu must be more serious. I might have imagined that there must be some deeper, difficult circumstances. However, I really am surprised. Chiwa loves me? No way! どうして? How? I can't believe it!
返事、
Ah?
お返事くれないんですか、先輩。
Still looking down and trembling, Chiwa says with a low voice.
お願いします。何か言ってくださいよ、先輩。私、勇気出したんです。頑張ったんです。だからお願い。どうかお返事欲しいです。
Seeing her face, hearing her voice, I couldn't sense anything ingenuine. So I become anxious, and so I'm perplexed, but then for some reason, A certain memory suddenly resurfaced inside me. It's about that. It's about that time from a few days ago. The day when Chiwa suddenly wore Inu Mimi. The attitude of my Osana and Jimmy were somewhat, no, quite troubling. Unable to agree with their reasons, I was left with unsettled feelings. Chiwa sure was cute. I keep thinking such things out of my awareness. No way. I think, no way. Was this about that? So, I realize. You see, this is dangerous. That's what it is. I shake my head furiously.
Senpai,
Seeing me, Chiwa looks up from beside me with big eyes holding back tears.
まさかって、あれって何かですか?
Her cheeks are red, fully red. Her eyes looking up at me are shaking. However, even in the midst of that anxiety, there seemed to be a faint sliver of hope in them. I get startled. The eyes looking at me. It's as if there were no lies, no falsehood. It felt like they were made with crystals of innocence, but I can't. It's that kind of strategy, isn't it? Chiwa,
はい。
is this some sort of... Oh, fucking hell, man. Why would you ask that question? Oh, shit. No, man. Oh, shit. This is so frustrating, man. There's so many obvious signs. I know he's in. There's both disbelief and there's disbelief, and then there's lack of confidence within him. But like, this is how you handle it, man. Oh man, it hurts. He was taken aback, as if unable to understand what I just said.
いたずら?
Yeah, I remembered. A while ago, they all made you cosplay with Inumimi. Right? They all made you do it, right? I don't know why, but that's probably it, isn't it? I asked her. So I thought that today was just an extension of that. Even now, I feel that Haru and others must be watching from somewhere since this morning. The two of us, that is. Oh, man. This is so bad. This is so difficult to watch. Oh, man. I'm having a hard time here. Chiwa left her mouth open as if she stopped breathing. Unable to bear her expression and gaze at all, I hurriedly reply. I mean, something's weird. Asking me out on a date, even just for thanking me. I cannot really imagine you saying that. That's why I couldn't help but think it was the work of some third party. Which is why... Your confession. God damn it, man. God damn it, man. Why did you do this? God damn it, man. She becomes notably paler. Chiwa. What? I feel bad seeing it again, but it's fine to take this as their prank, right? Like, you're just intentionally going along with Tomohito who says this, and that about music, right? As I continue to say that, my smile starts to stiffen. I probably had a feeling. I have likely done something very terrible. Which is why I couldn't believe it. I couldn't accept it. There's no way that you would like... I blurted as if talking to myself. At that moment, Marie's smile was surely far worse than ugly. What even is this, even with this guy? I'm always annoyed by the sight of me. What the heck is this idiot saying? I mean, I understand what the hell Taiga's going on with. Like, he is in a pure state of disbelief, and I know he lacks confidence to the extreme degree. Like, I totally understand that. I mean, he's the guy who once asked Asai-san, "Can you please tell me? Can you please grant my wish to die in the most worst possible way, in the most suffering way, you know?" But to see it manifest in this manner, and it sucks. But it's so in line with him. It's so in line with him, man. It sucks. Fuck. I'm sorry. I'm really crashing out. Like, man, it's man. But I don't know how it would be if he were here. But it's me. For me, it's impossible. So I just looked away from her. Then I looked around restlessly. I searched for the gazes that were supposed to be locked on us. The sight of my Osana and Jimmy who loves pranks. No, it was great, Chiwa. It was really amazing. My heart's still racing knowing it's a prank. It felt real, or rather... Saying that thoughtlessly and nervously turning it towards her, I was a complete idiot. Oh, shit, man. Oh, man. This is so hard to watch. This is so hard to read. I'm so having a hard time continuing this, man. They fall. Tears. Tears fell. Big tears dropped one after another from Chiwa's eyes as she stared at me. Chiwa? Why? Chiwa? She releases my hand that she'd been holding all this day. She wipes the tears dropping one by one with both her hands. She wipes desperately, but they won't stop. The tears overflow, soaking till her chest. I couldn't move. I might have forgotten to breathe as well. Uso. Chiwa? I might have made a huge mistake after all. I wouldn't call that a huge mistake. It's the kind of mistake that... That's the kind of mistake that in the normally there's no turning back from that, man. There's no turning back normally. But of course we know this is a rat, so somehow he finds a way to deal with it. But like, this is so hard, man. This is so hard. I became afraid. Relation. Maho. I'll grant your Yume. Before all of that, I might have destroyed something very important. I stretched out my hand. She laughed. I wouldn't ask her to hold it again. I just wanted to hold her and apologize once. If possible, I would tear all of the words I just said. But as if to avoid that, she would stand from the bench. She says while sobbing convulsively. Why? You know what? You know what sucks? She recovered from the first... think about it. On the first time, she jumped the gun and said, tomorrow we'll be lovers. Like, right then and there, like, it's so... I'm surprised she was so willing to continue. She continued to attempt from there, man. She continued to attempt. She really attempted to confess. Even after that, the first time she mentioned, will we be lovers tomorrow? And maybe she understood that Taiga's dance, our usual dance protagonist, you know. And then, this is so painful, man. I'm just having a hard time continuing. What the fuck? And are you saying she was the one who's feeling responsible for the whole thing? Why would Chiwa apologize? Yeah, honestly, that's the same question I have. Why? It's valid for you to just not continue from here. Holy shit! this is so hard. Like, I guess Chiwa really wants to be with Taiga so much that rather than, act on something that's like, she has the right to get angry and, to feel bad, but like she'd rather say it's what she just said. Her confession was just a lie. God damn it, man. Jesus, Chiwa. Chiwa wipes her tears while desperately trying to smile. But it's useless. No matter what, tears overflow.
私みたいなのか。迷惑でごめんなさい。先輩、本当に。でも、お願いします。どうか、私を。
Continuing till there, she weakly mutters the last few words. Then she runs away. It is valid for her to run away. No, seriously. What the fuck, bro? Jesus, man. Chiwa! I shout, but I felt as if I didn't have the right to chase her. I was left with an empty bento, along with her final words. But please, don't hate me. Chiwa said that and ran away. For some reason, those words really pained my heart. I hold my head. If he were here, if the protagonist of the story was here, then of course he wouldn't hurt someone cute like I did. I feel as if the protagonist of the story stuffed in my head from all the books I read in Asai-san's study must be disappointed at me altogether. I felt it. The Yusha. Where did the Yusha go? Repeating my usual words. I would only stare at my hand that she let go of. Honestly, it's so in character for him to do that. Because
そう、そんなことが。
like knowing what kind of person he is, knowing his past, knowing how he thinks. Like even if at some point he felt that situation was true, he'd rather destroy it, man. He'd rather destroy it. I hate that I understand why he did it and I had to go through that understanding. I fucking hate it, man. Oh man, Jesus Christ. It's been a while since I read something that made me feel that bad. That is so bad. I mean, not in a bad way, like the story is bad. It's like you were meant to feel bad, and I really felt bad there. Holy shit! What the fuck? That was one of the worst. I'm still surprised she. Okay, at least she ended up running away. I think that's valid on her part. Like, but she still tried to finish the conversation, trying to say, "Please don't hate me." Like, oh my god. And she probably felt like she did something wrong. Like she did something really wrong, and really wrong by her confessing, and then she just like like in your average situation, straight up, if you do that to a person, like holy shit, I can't think of a situation that's gonna ever end up in a very good. There's a way to turn to circle around that, man. To that is so bad. That is just that's just so insulting, man. It you put all your you gather all your courage, you try, okay, the first time she really did jump the gun, I think she realized that, and that's why she still tried. You know, she still tried. She still tried, and she went clear and straight up said, and straight up confessed her feelings, and then the reply was like, "This is just a prank, isn't it? It's just a prank, right?" Fucking hell, man. Like, anyway, that night, I was reporting today's events to Kuro. A frail voice came from the speaker pressed against my ear.
私のせいかな。
Huh? Why? I asked. Oh, Kuro was watching them? Kuro was watching them and he felt Kuro's gaze and mistakenly thought of that as like, why would it be your fault?
昨日の夜、
Yeah?
私が大河の相談をそんなの知らないって大河は相談する相手を間違えてるよってそう言って電話を切ったから。
Man, Kuro is so... Jesus Christ, man. Oh yeah, this is gonna be the last scene. I need to go after this scene. No, that's wrong, Kuro. I'm happy that you're worried, but that's not true. It's not your fault. If I ever thought of putting blame on someone for today's failure, then that definitely wouldn't save me at all, I thought. Even the word pathetic wouldn't be enough to describe me.
別にいいんだよ。
Deep in thought, I suddenly hear your voice next to my ear.
私ね、おバカだからちゃんと君を大河を応援できるような言葉をいつもちゃんと選べないけど。
After inserting a short silence, thinking something.
別に大河、あのね大河、情けなくてもいいって私は思うよ。
Even if I'm pathetic.
うん、誰かがこうじゃなきゃかっこ悪いって期待するような生き方をしなきゃいけない。そんな理由はないって思う。
I listened carefully to Kuro's clumsily put together words.
だけど
Hi?
もし誰かの期待を満たさなきゃならないことがあるとしたら、それは他の誰でもない。君は君自身の期待に応えるために生きないと。私はいつもそう思ってるよ。
I closed my eyes to Kuro's voice. She's earnestly, sincerely, carefully selecting her words to send to me with her little soft voice. Just by listening to the shape and color of her voice, I don't know why, but it makes me feel calm anytime. She always used to look over at me from nearby during my younger days. Even now, she still worries about me like this. That alone is more than enough for me.
ごめんね、タイガー。
But you were always worried.
私は恋愛のことはわからない。私たちは人の心がわからないから。私たちはそういう生き物だから。だから今、君が苦しんでいる問題に一番の言葉を、応援を送ってあげることが私にはできない。
Being honestly on the phone, you sounded worried about your voice reaching me. Anxious, concerned, a bit too scared to bear. You would talk with that tone. Wishing to lighten your anxiety as much as possible. It might be. I said with a bitter smile, trying not to make it too depressing, but at the same time, taking care not to sound too lighthearted.
どういうこと？
Yeah, I guess you could say that the thing worrying me right now is a problem of koi.
わからない。
My thoughts and your voice both overlap.
私には 何もわからない。
Her words were full of anxiety, worry, even fear. However, a faint voice would connect further. But you know.
でもね、タイガー。君のその悩みは、今は苦しいかもしれないけれど、とっても大変かもしれないけれど、間違ってはいないよ。
Huh?
それは絶対。
Eh? Not wrong.
そう。うまく言えないけど、絶対だよ。
Is that switching the ketai on my other hand, I say, because you know the future, Kuro.
うん。そうだね。
Just because you know my future, you can say that it's fine and that it's not wrong.
うん。その通りだよ。
I closed my eyes, then I pictured you smiling bitterly. Seeing you behind my eyes, I said sorry again.
ごめん。今度お電話するときには、もっと上手な言葉を探しておくよ。大河の眠れない夜ができるだけ少なくなるようにって。
From there on, we spent time rambling about few things. I wonder what you were doing when I was on my date. Were you looking over me as always from somewhere close by?
ううん、今日もそういうわけにはいかなかった。でも、うまくいくように祈ってた。本当だよ。
What else happened? Did you eat today? Chocolates? No. Chocolate. The ones you gave me that are not bitter? I exchanged many words with you.
ねえ、タイガー。
Yeah?
魔法は決まった？
Kuro says.
大河の夢を叶えるための魔法。その形は、その効果は、一体どんなものであれば万全なのか、思い描けた？
Hearing the same question that had been thrown at me since my childhood, I shake my head and respond with no, tonight as well. What maha would I desire to grant my wishes and dreams from here on? I still cannot find an answer to that, but your little voice was just like a lullaby, sung only for me. My anxiety, my suffocating heart, and my growing fears would gradually become lighter. It was the beginning of the time where I felt the presence of gentle sleep.
さようなら、大河。
I heard a gentle voice that felt as if it touched my heart.
祈ってる。いつも祈ってるよ、大河。君の未来に、いつも優しい魔法がありますようにって。
Okay, I have to end it here today. Today's shorter because I ended up reading Leaking Lovers for some reason. But tomorrow we'll go full time with Sakura Moyu. Yeah, when am I gonna read Hanukkah Sora? I still want to continue reading, but I want to go full time with Sakura Moyu for a while. Maybe I'll do some weekends for Haruka Sora. I don't know, but I want to focus on Sakura Moyu because I still have a lot more to go. I only finished one round of 4, and I have 3-ish weeks to complete this. I mean, I could probably finish it in the second week, but it requires me to go full time, I guess, for Sakura Moyu. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I'll see you guys on the next upload. Ciao.
会った日の思い出を色鮮やかに描くよ。視線がすれ違うたび高鳴る鼓動を抑えた。初めて触れた指でなぞった名前。心まで染め上げて全てを変えてゆく。春空舞う花びらは過ぎ去った奇跡じゃなくめくった季節を越えても輝いて二人の未来を彩るよ。春風吹くこの場所で懐かしい舞台の上重ねた想いの数だけ迷わずに二人で描いてゆこう。新しい物語を放課後待ち合わせて帰った夕日の色。夜空浮かぶ月のように君がそばにいてくれた。視線がぶつかるたびに近づくことを数えた。初めて触れた方の震えが今も心まで染め上げて全てを変えてゆく。繰り返す時を幾千も夜を永遠に過ごす。この先もずっと冬の名残払う風は汚れのない想い乗せて飛んでゆく。春空舞う思い出は過ぎ去った奇跡じゃなく明日へ踏み出す背中をそっと押す。昨日から届く贈り物だよ。春風吹くこの場所で新しい舞台の上重ねた手と手をもう二度と離さずに二人で今歩き出そう。終わらない物語を